morning, class. Please stand up for a word of prayer. Miss Bell, please lead a prayer. Before you take your seat, please pick up some pieces of papers under your chairs and please arrange your chairs properly. Alright, class, please settle down. How are you, everyone? How was your weekend? Did you enjoy your activities during your weekends? That's very good. That's nice of you. Now, before we proceed to another session, to another discussion, to another lesson, let us first check if there are any absence for today. Are there any absence? Who is our class middle? Are there any absence? No one. That's good. Okay, because there is no absence as our traditional activity before anything else, let us first read our classroom rules. So boys, please read. Girls, boys, girls, boys. Alright, so I believe all of you are already familiar with these rules because we have been repeatedly reading this one for almost a year now. And these rules, as I've said for a couple of times, these will help us have a peaceful, healthy, and facilitative learning environment. So please take it by heart, class. And do we have assignments before we proceed to our class? No, there is no assignments. But what did we discuss last meeting? Yes, last meeting. Okay, yes, Mr. Nathaniel. Alright, we discussed about adjectives. Now, what is an adjective as a review? Please read, everybody. Adjectives describe or modify nouns and pronouns. They will give qualities or characteristics to all kinds. For example, huge, red, angry, tremendous, unique, rare. These are examples of adjectives. Now, can you guys give an example of adjective? Right. Smart, wide, gorgeous, adventurous. Very good. Now, you may notice that adjective usually comes before a noun. Like in this example that we have, a red dress. Dress is our noun, and the word before the noun is our adjective, which is red. Alright, everyone. Who among you here wants to have an activity? Who wants to engage in an activity? Oh, yes, I know everyone wants to engage yourselves in an activity. But before that, let me ask you, class, what is this? A paper. Now, this is not just a simple paper. This is a paper, but yeah. Yes, correct. It is a letter. Now, class, have you ever written a letter to someone? Any kinds of letter, like letter of apology, letter of confession, or have you ever read a letter? Oh, so some of you have and some of you still haven't. Now, for our activity, we will call it letter for you. So the class will be divided into 4 groups. Group 1, Group 2 at the back, Group 3, and Group 4. And you will be assigned to a specific person, and that specific person you will write a letter for. Now, here is your envelope. Group 1, Group 2, Group 3, and Group 4. Now, for our activity, your task is, as a group, you will write a letter to the specific person that was assigned to you. And I will give you 7 minutes, and after a maximum of 7 minutes, each representative will come here to read the letter they have written. Is the instructions clear, class? Alright. Time's up, everyone. 7 minutes is over. Please, representatives, come here in front and read the letter that you have wrote, and please tell us who the specific person you're assigned to. Alright, everyone. So group 1, they were assigned to someone they want to be friends with. Now group 2, they were assigned to write a letter to their parents. Quite an easy job, right? Now, for group 3, they were assigned to someone they truly admire, or someone they have a crush on, or someone they looked up to. And for group 4, they were assigned to write a letter to someone they need forgiveness from. It's quite a tasky task for them, but they have managed to write a letter very well written. So thank you so much, everyone, for that amazing work of yours. So now let us proceed to our lesson proper. But prior to that, let us first read our intended learning objectives for today, so that we will be guided throughout our lesson on what activities we will engage ourselves with. Now let us read. At the end of the 60-minute period with 80% proficiency level, the students should be able to. Boys, please read the first one. Girls, and everybody. Alright, so for us to be able to achieve the first objective, I will give you a task this morning with the same group that you have earlier. But before that, let us first unlock the meaning of these words for you to have a smooth sailing discussion later. Alright, so the first word is wither. This is of a plant dried or shriveled. Number 2, whiff, a smell that is smelled briefly, shortly. And third, dank, disagreeably damp or typically cold. And third, prodigious, remarkably great in extent or in size. So class, please remember and please understand clearly the meaning of these words, so you will have a smooth sailing discussion with our activity today. Now for us to fulfill the first objective, please go back to your groups like earlier. Settle down, everyone. Now for our discussion, you will have a group discussion. And leaders of each group, please come here in front and get one and pass. Okay, please settle down now, leaders. Now here is the instruction of your group discussion. I have given a handout to each leader of the group. And the task of the leader is to read the story to his or her groups, and the members will listen to the story the leader is reading. And for better comprehension, the members, take note, the members will answer these questions without reading the handouts, but just through listening to the leader. So again, class, who will read the story? Only the leader, that's right. And who will answer this? The members. The members will just listen to the story, to the leader, and they will answer the guide questions. So after a maximum of 30 minutes, I assume all of the groups will be done in that time, and the answers will be passed here to me. Okay, time starts now. 30 minutes maximum for group discussion. Alright, everyone, face here in front. 30 minutes is over. Please pass your answers. Alright. So the story that you had just discussed with your group is entitled Penmanship by Jose Y. Delisay. Jose Y. Delisay is the author of the story Penmanship, which is a story of love and change. Tells us about a man in his 50s who was in love with his antique pen and his penmanship, and who exercised that love in letters to all kinds of people, but then found himself falling in love with blind young women and getting his heart trampled in the process. Now, looking at your answers, I can see that every one of you have understood the story, and while I was observing you earlier, you were really following the instructions. So, what a smart student that you are. Now, the theme for our story is change. How people accept and how people cope up with it. Now, everyone, why do you think the theme of the story penmanship is change? Yes, Miss Kath. That's right. It is very evident in the story that from the very beginning, the beginning of the story is very different from the ending. So that was, and the whole story tells us the concept of change, right? Now the characters, here are the characters of our story. The senior clerk or the penman, and here is how we are going to describe him. He is narrow-minded and old-fashioned as what we have observed in the story, which can be shown in his preferring to use a pen instead of a typewriter or a new ball pen. Or in our modern age today, we use our laptop and printer. But then he preferred to use his old pen and he cherished it so much. Now, our second character is Nora. Nora is a blind young girl. She has learned to accept a major change in her life, becoming a blind after a fatal accident. So she met an accident before that changed her into a blind woman. And here she is strong and she can work like a normal person. That's right, everybody. Nora is blind, but she managed to act and live like a normal person. If you put yourself into her shoes, can you still do the same? You have varying answers, and it's just for you. It's on you if your answers is genuine, or it's on you if your answers are just for the sake of answering. Now, everyone, I have a question, but before that, can someone summarize the story using his or her own words? The leaders are exempted to this oral. Yes, Mr. Benji. That's correct. Thank you very much, Mr. Benji. That is a very well descriptive and well-spoken summary. How about the other hands? Yes, Mr. Lucky. Thank you. Very good. Now, Miss EJ. That's correct. So let us answer these questions, guys, everyone. The first question is, if the senior clerk did not listen carefully to the blind woman, do you think he will be able to successfully write the letter? Imagine if the senior clerk did not listen intently to what the blind woman was saying. Do you think the senior clerk or the penman would successfully write the letter? No, that's right. If you're not listening to me at this very moment, do you think later you can answer my questions? No. Second, in the case of the blind woman and the senior clerk, is listening important? How can you say so? Yes, listening is very important because if the senior clerk did not listen, and vice versa, if the blind girl did not listen to the senior clerk, what will happen? They won't have a peaceful and successful communication and relationship to each other. What I mean with the relationship is the writer and storyteller relationship. Okay. Imagine yourself as a blind woman. How would you feel if someone is listening to your personal thoughts? Imagine if you are the blind woman, if you are Nora, how would you accept, how would you feel if someone is listening to your personal thoughts? It depends on who is listening to you. If it is your friend, it's okay. But if it is a stranger, maybe it's okay. But some of you cannot accept the fact that a stranger is listening to your personal thoughts. So that is on you guys. So everyone, as a student, how important is listening? Yes, that's right. Listening is very important for us because, as I've said earlier, if you are not listening to me right now, do you think you will manage to answer the questions or you will manage to comply the activities that I will give to you later? No. And do we need to listen to everything? Now, this is a very somehow a hard question. Do you think we should listen to everything? Some of you say no, some of you said yes. But actually everyone, for me, we should not listen to everything because not everything we have heard, we have seen is legit, authorized, relevant, and is good for us. So we should be mindful. For you as grade 7 students, you should be mindful as early as in your age today so that you will be responsible student, responsible human beings, responsible citizen in the society. Alright? Responsible daughter. So you should not, when you listen to someone, to some marites, you should not believe them all the time because sometimes the information we have heard is not real. Sometimes they are fake. So we should not, for me, we should not listen to everything. Alright, everyone. For our activity, please proceed to your groups. And we are going to watch a news. We are going to watch a news. And for your task as a group is you are going to watch this news, and your task is you are going to write your own report from the video that we have watched. Okay? You're going to watch this video and your task is to write your own report. Is that clear? Okay. So here's the video, class. Alright everyone, so I think it's enough for you. You have watched it for 3 times already. Now, please proceed to your group and do your activity for 15 minutes. And after that, please pass it to me. Okay everyone, time is up. 15 minutes is up. 15 minutes is up. Now before we end our lesson, did everyone understood our lesson for today? The story that we have read? Oh, thank you very much. I know that everyone have understood the lesson because I can see how attentive you are and how interested you are listening to me here. And I am so thankful for the listening ears that you have right now. Now for your assignments, you are going to listen to this song by Hunter Hayes It is entitled Invisible. And your task is to write the message of the song. Okay? Yes, that song. This will be, oh no, we have time? Oh, we have our time. So let's just make this our application. Do it individually. Listen to the song. You have 10 minutes to do this, and after that, pass it. Yes, individual. One whole sheet of paper. You do it for 10 minutes, and after that, pass it to me. Okay, everyone. I think all of you, we have been listening to this song for a while now. So please write the message that you have gathered in this song. After 10 minutes, I will collect the paper. Okay, 10 minutes is over, everyone. Please pass the papers here at front. Now, everyone, that is all for our lesson this morning. Now, for our assignments, just please read our next lesson, which is all about pronouns, and we will have a discussion the day after tomorrow because tomorrow is a holiday. So thank you everyone for listening to this class. Goodbye and thank you. Goodbye, guys.